Did you know 13.1 million kids in the U.S. live in food-insecure households? 49% of Kansas kids and 51% of Missouri kids qualify for free or reduced lunch. 276,000 Missouri children live in poverty, and 122,000 Kansas children live in poverty. Kids in poverty are almost 3 times as likely to drop out of high school. 43% of children born in poverty remain in poverty into adulthood. So, you see the problem, but how can we fix it?
Something we say in Bright Futures is that every child needs a champion. And I don't think that stands more true than it does today. There's no question that life is challenging, not just for adults, but certainly for kids too. And we have to figure out ways to support children in every way possible to ensure that they can be successful in life and given every opportunity. So, it just takes good people that are willing to step up and serve in what could be in a leadership role, it could be serving as a mentor. But we have to find ways to put champions in the lives of these kids and create a support structure and safety nets to ensure that every child has a fair chance to make it in this very challenging world. And what a better way to do that than getting everybody at the table and putting politics aside, putting personal issues aside, and finding common ground around our kids.
I think to a certain degree there's always a need, and there always has been a need for certain families and certain students throughout the years. I'm just seeing the number of students needing assistance that has increased.
There are so many other needs these children have, stability in their lives. Some of them don't know who's picking them up at the end of the day.
At the Fulton Early Childhood Center, anything that the kids really need, we try to meet those needs for them.
There's no doubt that there are needs in this community, and I don't think that Fulton's unique in that. I think that there are communities, just about every town you walk into anymore has some sort of poverty in it, but I think Fulton has a little bit of a uniqueness due to some of the organizations that are already in town.
We're here in our Fulton Middle School Thrive Hive. Why the Thrive Hive came to be is we want the basic needs of our students being met, and that is from food to health and hygiene to clothing. We have other sections here in the store as well. School supplies, we do a gift section, but just having those basic needs met. For our students to thrive in the classroom, they have to have their needs being met.
Since I began teaching here, I've seen an increase in the needs of students with having their basic needs met. Things like making sure they have adequate food, clothing, housing in some circumstances, and a need for more mental health services than in the past. Just students are having a harder time regulating their own behavior.
Their basic needs for their health care aren't being met. Coming to school sick or not with the proper things that they need. Hygiene kind of goes along with that. Shoes and bathing and just those general kinds of things, clothes and coats and 4 and 5, 6 and kids in the class, maybe where it used to just be one child.
I've had children that have needed winter coats, from winter hats to underwear, socks, shoes, food.
Hunger is a big part of it, and I think our district does a fabulous job already with the grant for breakfast. I think that's fabulous, and the buddy pack system, but there's still a need. I mean, they're hungry, and when they haven't had dinner, the night before, as they get older, I've noticed a big difference between the little ones and the older ones of not expressing the lack of the food that they've had.
At the high school level, I think it's easy when people look at younger children and see that they need basics like food. You have buddy backpack programs so kids can get food home on the weekends, and I think they forget that as kids get older, they still have those needs. They still face hunger insecurity in the homes, but people aren't thinking of them as being unable to acquire some of those things for themselves.
In my classroom alone, we feed my students breakfast, lunch, and snack. We also send home buddy packs on Fridays to a majority of our students.
We are fortunate enough in our district to have the Buddy Backpack program, but that stops at the 5th grade level, and the need definitely doesn't stop.
Clothing is probably what I see the most here. The clothing items, they are going between homes, maybe grandparents and aunts and uncles and family. that I left my coat at Grandma's house. I come to school in 12-degree weather without a winter coat.
Diapers, we had a huge donation of diapers to parents as teachers.
We are seeing everything from the typical things you think about when you say the word poverty, lack of food, lack of clothing, but then you also get into other things that people don't think about, lack of transportation.
We come from a small community, and we don't always have the larger resources available that like a St. Louis, a Kansas City, a Springfield, even a Columbia or Jeff City has.
That through Bright Futures, I know that there's many people in the community who want to come in and assist, and I know sometimes larger kids can be very intimidating. But I think that these kids really, they want to learn, they want to have opportunities, and it's be a way to make a connection between a specific student who has a specific need and a community partner who has something to give.
One of our ladies in church, she's one of our deacons, she ran across a program called Cinderella's Closet. 40 young ladies were fully outfitted for their prom at no charge to them, and it was designed with the idea that they would be pampered just like Cinderella was in the movie.
We really need some role models, not only just our teachers, but bringing people in from the community, firefighters, police officers, librarians, just people from the community, banks, that they can kids can put a face to if they see them at Walmart. They can just make those special connections.
Finding creative ways to provide those needs to the students, I think is definitely high priority for us.
Our kids here at Fulton Middle School have grown to know that the Thrive Hive is here for them and opened every morning, but some kids might be a little reluctant to come and shop when it's open to, I guess you could say, the public, to the entire student body. And then we did open the Thrive Hive to our parents to visit during parent-teacher conferences so they could truly see what the store is all about. And we have had parents contact us when there have been hard times at home or a parent has lost a job, and they've come in and they have shopped here at the Thrive Hive.
We have our Helping Hive, where parents, people in the community can come and get things that they need, food, diapers, toiletries, things like that, and it's open all day. It's just out in our parking lot, and it gets taken, things are taken every single day. It's pretty empty by the end of the day.
Another project that was parents as teachers needed a supply of diapers. They just did not have the funding to get the diapers that allowed them to get into the homes to work with the parents, and those were kind of almost like a calling card. Yeah, if you let us come and help teach you how to be a good parent and how your child can thrive, then we will bless you with some diapers.
And I've even had friends in the community that have said, how can we help? What do you need? Well, that's an open-ended question.
Bright Futures can help provide the resources and the immediate funding to help the specific situations in need that are happening in our buildings.
I think it can really solve a lot of the problems that our community has, and it can build positive relationships. We have such amazing community members who I know want to help be a benefit to the students in our school district, and I think it's like one-stop shopping for people who want to provide services or skills or assistance with the people who can really benefit the most, because our kids are our community.
It's just going to help give the community resources to use, help supply our schools with, supply our Hornet Hives with things that our students might need. Just allowing parents to they might not have to go out and find the help themselves, that we'll be there for them.
But having Bright Futures partner with us to make sure our students' basic needs are being met so they can thrive in the classroom is what it's all about.
So if we can band together as a smaller community and branch out and use what's available from the businesses, from individuals in the community who just want to help. Maybe their kids are grown and they still love being a grandparent or a mentor, or they want to provide funding in some way to help a kiddo with school supplies or any other materials they might need. Having an avenue for them to be able to do that and not just call the school or talk to a teacher at the grocery store.
Bright Futures brings a certain level of organization and cooperation within the community.
We're not enabling families. I understand sometimes we think that it's a take world, but the children shouldn't have to suffer.
There's so much on our plates already as parents, and that this is just another person in the village to help raise our kids and just make Fulton the best that it can be.
Bright futures will ultimately help students build the confidence that they need to become an independent and successful citizen. I think when there are resources available for them, whether it be a mentor or whether it be funding or materials or different things like that, it shows them that they're important and that they have something to contribute in a positive way. And being able to, as a teacher, see them grow and see their confidence grow, and then hopefully continue on through the years as they get older, and then when they're graduated and moving on to either a work job or trade school or college, they're able to continue on with that confidence and then eventually give back, and the cycle will hopefully continue to build upon itself.